felt a strange, restrained feeling as I lay cold and alone in the darkness. I didn't know where I was, or what I was doing here. Come to think of it, I wasn't even sure if I was having a dream or in a trance of some sort. Whatever it was, it gave me a heavy, restless feeling. Just as I was pondering this, a bright light appeared, as if someone had just flashed a camera in my face. The only difference was, it was taking longer to go away. As the light faded and I adjusted my eyes, I could see where I was. I looked around. There were all kinds of strange machines scattered around the room. As I glanced to my right, I noticed a tray of what appeared to be surgical tools. What the fuck? I thought. There was a leaking tap. Phew, I haven't lost my hearing, I thought to myself. That was a relief. I scanned the room once more. The walls were covered in what appeared to be ceramic tiles. The room was a sickly green colour. I'm not even going to describe the smell. All you need to know is it was beyond foul. I glanced down my body. I was horrified to see my arms were in restraints, as were my legs and my abdomen area. I was wearing what could only be described as a hospital gown, but it was drenched in blood. I could still feel it was wet to the touch, as I could feel it against my chest. What the fuck? Get me out of here! Let me go! I screamed as loud as my lungs could accept. Suddenly, a doctor burst into the room.
The patient is awake.
I heard him mumble. He placed a hand on my forehead and raised my eyelids, shining a pen torch in both of my eyes.
No concussion, no need to worry,
he said matter-of-factly. I want out of here. What am I doing here? I asked.
All in good time.
What a fucking cliche thing to say, I thought to myself. I was starting to become panicked. I just wanted to know why I was here and what the fuck they were going to do with me. Let me out, I yelled. I want to go home. The next thing I knew, I had a mask over my face. I slowly stopped flailing and everything went black. Again. When I regained consciousness, I was in a completely different room. It was like a small bedroom. There was the bed that I was lying on, a bedside table, a desk under the window, and a chair. I pushed myself up off of the bed. I was no longer restrained. I slowly dragged my legs to the side of the bed. It was as if I'd never used them. They felt limp. I grabbed for the bedside table and pulled myself up. As I shuffled over to look out the window, I noticed there were bars outside. What the hell kind of place were they keeping me in? I turned around to return to the bed, when I noticed the door to the room was open. I walked slowly over to it and glanced out into the hallway. There was no movement at all. It was completely deserted. I decided to explore a little. As I walked along the hallway, I passed several rooms on the way. Room number 3. It was a large, brightly lit room. As I crept slowly into the room, I noticed 2 boys around my age. As I got closer, I realised they were twins, but they were dressed in different clothes. What's your name? I asked them both, but only one answered.
Tom, and this is my brother, Sam. He's a mute.
They seemed very timid and scared at my very existence. What is this place? What are we doing here? I asked.
Not supposed to talk about it,
Tom said, all the while slapping himself on the side of the head. Okay, I thought to myself.
Not supposed to talk about it.
He said this even louder.
Not supposed to speak to strangers.
He panted, As I tried to reassure him he was safe, he yelled at me.
Don't touch me! Inappropriate contact! Inappropriate contact!
He just kept yelling over and over. I panicked. I didn't know what the hell to do.
Get out! Get out!
I was so scared, I turned around and ran out of the room. Once back in the hallway, I gained my breath again and returned to exploring this freaky place. Room number 5 was smaller than mine. I looked around the door to see a young boy sitting at the edge of the bed with his back to me. I placed a hand on his shoulder and was about to ask him where I was, but he spoke first. His voice was but a whisper, like he didn't want anyone to hear the words passing his lips.
No escape.
He said softly. What? I questioned, as I wasn't quite sure exactly what he had said.
No escape.
He said again. No escape? What the hell did he mean by that? Where are we? I questioned.
No escape.
He replied again. I tried to ask him another question, but all he kept saying was,
No escape.
I backed out of the room slowly and walked further down the hallway. I passed rooms 7 and 9 on the way. They appeared to be empty. As I reached room 11, 2 men came around the corner pushing what looked like a gurney.
Third one this week.
I heard one of the men mumble as the trolley came towards me. The sheet on the top slipped off. From what I could see, it was a young girl, no more than 6 years old, with dark raven hair, a pale and sallow face, and what seemed to be gashes on her throat. The men quickly recovered the sheet and passed me in haste. I didn't think much of it as I wandered deeper into this odd, cold place. I passed rooms 7 and 9 on the way. They appeared to be empty. As I reached room 11, 2 men came around the corner pushing what looked like a gurney.
Third one this week.
I heard one of the men mumble as the trolley came towards me. The sheet on the top slipped off. From what I could see, it was a young girl, no more than 6 years old, with dark raven hair, a pale and sallow face, and what seemed to be gashes on her throat. The men quickly recovered the sheet and passed me in haste. I didn't think much of it as I wandered deeper into this odd, cold place. I walked past several other rooms on my way down the hallway. Room 32 was brightly lit. It had to be one of the nicer rooms I'd come across so far. There was a girl not much older than me huddled in the corner of the room. She was covered in blood, holding what appeared to be a scalpel, and rocking back and forth where she sat.
He's going to kill me if I don't do it again,
was all she kept saying, over and over. We need some help in here, I yelled at the top of my lungs. But nobody came. What the hell is going on in this place? People need help and they're not getting any. It's a joke, I thought to myself.
It's no good.
The girl suddenly said. Huh? I gasped as I turned back to look towards her.
I said it's no good.
How? What is this place? Where are we? I asked her.
I don't know, but we are trapped here as experimental fodder for them.
I just looked at her in sheer wonderment. I didn't know what on earth she was going on about. Just as I was pondering this, the 2 men I had just seen in the hallway burst through the room door. The girl started shaking uncontrollably and screaming.
No! I won't go. You can't make me. You can't fucking make me. Let me go!
I just stood there in shock. I didn't know what to say or do.
Come on, Missy. Take it easy. It's time for your medicine.
One of the men said calmly. The girl started flailing and kicking and throwing her arms all over the place. In her haste, she accidentally punched one of the porters in the face. He grabbed her by the neck and pushed her up against the wall.
Watch what you're doing, you little bitch.
He growled in her face. She squirmed and let out a whimper as he tightened his grip.
I could snap your scrawny neck so fucking easily,
he said before letting her go. Then both men pushed their way out of the room, dragging her along with them. The girl reached out and slashed me with a scalpel. Ah, what the fuck? I whined. She then whispered,
I won't forget you.
with an evil smile. As I stood there, bleeding out onto the floor, the doctor came in.
Come on, love.
He said, grabbing me close and escorting me out of the room. We walked down the hallway and into a small room across the hall.
Let me clean you up. That's a pretty nasty cut.
He said gently. Who is that girl? She's a complete crackpot. She just up and slashed me for nothing, I said.
Oh, trust me, you really don't want to be involved in all of her nonsense. She's not a very nice person.
He replied. Oh, no shit, Sherlock, I retorted. He gave me the most evil look I'd ever seen in a person's face. I had the overwhelming feeling I wanted to apologize for being rude. But I didn't.
They're all clean.
He said, patting my arm with a fake smile. He then escorted me back to my room that I had woken up in before. It was pitch black. I couldn't see my hand in front of my face. I felt around for something to sit on. I found the bed. I lifted myself up onto it and lay down. The doctor leaned over me to listen to my chest. He then took my blood pressure. What the hell he needed to do that for was a mystery to me, but I was too scared to move. Suddenly, he injected me with a syringe of some sort, and again, everything went black. When I opened my eyes again, I couldn't breathe. Come to think of it, I couldn't fucking move. It felt like there was something heavy on my chest. As my eyes slowly adjusted to the darkness, I soon realised it wasn't something on my chest, but someone. It was the girl from earlier. She was sitting on top of me, holding the scalpel from earlier over her head. I tried to break loose. It was no good. I couldn't move.
You won't be able to move.
She said, matter-of-factly.
I injected you with numbing fluid.
She laughed hysterically. I tried to scream, but the words failed my lips. I looked at her again.
Don't worry. It'll be over soon.
All I could remember after that was blackness. Was I dead? Had she killed me? Was I victim number 6? I soon realised that my eyes were open and I was laying in a dimly lit room, surrounded by all kinds of machines. I looked down at my chest, which is bandaged up. The bandages were soaked in blood. She got me, I said sharply. That fucking bitch attacked me in bed? All I could think was, why didn't she choose her moment earlier? When she was being taken away, why wait till now? Obviously it was because I was defenceless, but surely someone like her prefers a fair fight. I wasn't going to stand for this. Running high on adrenaline, I got myself up off the bed, grabbed the closest thing to me, which was a surgical knife, and darted for the door. As I slowly crept down the hallway, I tried to remember which room I had seen her in before. If there was any pain from my injuries, I couldn't feel it. I was too pent up to care. Where the fuck is she? I thought to myself as I crept closer and closer to her room. The light was off. So I slowly opened the door and slipped inside. As I stood in the darkness, I pondered what I was going to do. I slowly stepped closer and closer to the bed, slipped the sheet up over her mouth and sat on top of her. Payback is shit, isn't it? You fucking bitch. I raised my hand above my head and plunged the knife into her chest. I repeated this motion for several minutes. Soon I was covered in blood from head to toe. Nobody attacks me and gets away with it, I whispered. I hopped off the bed and hit the emergency alarm before leaving the room and sneaking into a nearby linen closet. As I stood there, I held my breath and listened intently. Soon, there was a rush of footsteps coming down the hall. As they entered room 32, I could hear the gasps of shock and horror.
Not another one,
Groaned the doctor,
That's 7 murders now.
said one of the porters. As they wheeled the body out of the room, I released a sigh of relief. It's over. I got her. I actually got her. She's never gonna harm another person again, I said aloud. Then everything went black.